What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails of Cold Steel 2. Last time we took a walk around Rower City, did our last few bonding events for the day, and just saw how everyone was feeling after what happened the previous day. So now we are going to head back to the Courageous and see what our next day has in store for us. We're obviously at some point going to have to come back here because there are still students to recruit here. Such as Hugo, who's spending a lot of time over at the Rhineford store. But now is not the time to be doing that because he's very busy. So, let's head back over to the Courageous, which should be right over here. Yep. It is funny they went with like a red color because it's the same as kind of like Ouroboros' ship that we were on in second chapter, like very similar color scheme, so pretty funny there. Should I go and check in on Valimar in the hold? If I do, I probably, yeah, okay, so that's gonna be it. Let's go.
ランクアップだね。はい、学院からの特典だよ。お疲れ様。この調子で頑張って。
We do still need a sword for Valimar as well. Greetings, my Awakener. How are you feeling, Valimar? The battle yesterday must have been pretty hard on you. I am fine. The damage to my armor and lost mana have largely recovered. I expect to be in peak condition before our next battle. That's good to hear. Just listening to you talk, you really have changed since the first time we met. You seem to be talking a little more like a human now. Is that so? That would suggest that my memory is slowly recovering. What's that now? The part of me in which memories are stored appears to have been damaged. I have very few memories of the past, such as why I was sealed within the old schoolhouse to begin with. This includes my memories of language. Thus far, I have had to rely on the preset bare minimum of speech functionality. However, thanks in great part to your assistance, my speech functionality is slowly beginning to restore itself. Does that mean your memories of the past are starting to return too? It is an indistinct memory, as if clouded by a white noise. I seem to recall someone burdened by great sadness, much like yourself. That obvious, huh? I look that burdened to you? Someone died right before my eyes, and I was powerless to stop them. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that I might have been able to stop it from happening. And that regret's like a thorn stabbing into my heart. Was the person in your memory able to move past their burdens? I am unable to find any memories that answer that question. However, I believe your sense of regret is an entirely natural process for humans. Is that not the case? Well, yeah, I guess. Give thought to what you would do differently if confronted by the same situation again. If I can aid you, I shall. Yeah, you're right. I can't undo the past, but I can at least make sure I don't make the same mistake a second time. Perhaps considering how I can do that is the best thing I can do right now. Thanks, Valimar. I feel a little better after talking to you. Then all is well. I'm afraid I must return to sleep. Should you require my aid again, you need only call my name. I need to keep on getting stronger. Strong enough that I can protect the people around me. The ship's maintenance is probably almost done now. Maybe I should take a nap or something while I wait for the others to get here? Or not. Yes, this is Reen Schwarzer speaking. Hey there, Reen. George here. Do you have a minute? George, is something wrong? Well, I'm over at the Rower Institute of Technology at the moment, and And an acquaintance of mine here has a pretty interesting proposal regarding your Divine Knight. How soon do you think you can come over? A proposal? Who is this acquaintance of yours? Well, it's the Institute's president, actually. Professor Schmidt, the Empire's foremost orbital researcher. Well then. That's definitely a name that we've heard. Well, I guess we're here now. No, like, fancy introduction of him walking in the room. Seems like a very serious guy, though. Professor G. Schmidt. The name's G. Schmidt. I serve as this institute's president. I certainly wasn't expecting the pilot of the Ashen Knight to be only a boy. The Alliance ought to be damn near ashamed of themselves if they keep losing to a snot-nosed brat like you. I don't think that's any way to talk to a person you've only just met. Besides, he happens to be one of the students who helped get you that minor medal earlier in the year. And one of the students put out that request without any input from me. He should be kissing my boots for having the honor of assisting with my research, however indirect it was. Some things never change. Putting that aside, is it true? Were you the one responsible for developing the Panzer Soldats? It is. Duke Cayenne made the request and I agreed to it. I used the ancient robot Ordine and the Society's archaisms as a reference point, and then designed a frame that could be mass-produced even with the Reinford Company's technological capabilities. Afterward, I drew up plans for several models and oversaw the completion of a Draken prototype a few months back. Why do you ask? Do you have any idea what you've done? You're wasting your time, Rain. He develops whatever catches his interest, loses himself until it's done, and to hell with the consequences. The railway guns in Corellia Fortress and the orbital wave jamming device in Nord were both designed by him too. Unbelievable. Bah, an engineer who doesn't strive to satisfy his intellectual curiosity is a sad sight of an engineer. I don't think... Do I remember correctly that, because I believe that Schmidt was mentioned by, Tita's grandfather. That they don't get along. Unless I'm remembering incorrectly. But you can obviously see why, because Tita's grandfather doesn't like stuff like this. You know, just doing stuff that can harm people. We just design things. It's up to their users to decide what to do with them. Do you get it now? It's because I couldn't cope with this part of him that I ended up going to the academy over here. Yeah, I totally get it, unfortunately. Alright, what made you come visit the professor to begin with? Of course, that's what I called you here for. I was hoping I might be able to get some kind of advice or pointers from him. You know, about getting a new weapon for Valimar. Oh. It's so weird when they have a completely, like, quiet scene, like, unvoiced, and then they have a flashback that's from a voice scene. George told me about what you're after. He says you want a weapon capable of fighting on equal terms with the Azure Knight. We might have gone our separate ways, but he's still a former student of mine. I'm open to the possibility of designing something for you. Really? You'd make a weapon for Valimar? I said I'd be open to the possibility. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. If you want my help, I have one condition. Zemurian ore. Ring any bells for you, Reen? No, I'm afraid it doesn't. It's an extremely rare ore found here in Zemuria. It's an astoundingly strong material that possesses a mysterious radiance within it. And what's more, as I learned while developing the Soldats, the frames of the Divine Knights are made up of that very ore. Your Ashenite included. I had no idea. The double saber Ordine uses appears to be made of it too. Which, as I'm sure you figured out, means if you're ever going to compete against Crow, you're going to need a Tachi made of Zemurian ore too. To make one, however, you're going to need vast quantities of ore. Yet, it was only recently discovered how to refine the ore at all. Processing will be extremely difficult. But bring me the materials and I'll be willing to assist you. The concept of a weapon that can compete against Divine Knights is of great interest to me. Even when you're helping people, it's only to help yourself. It'd be nice if you were doing it to atone for developing those Soldats, but I can't picture those words coming out of your mouth. The very thought makes me feel ill. Bear in mind, Zemurian ore is an incredibly rare material. I doubt you'll find enough to get the job done. Still, should you pull it off, I'll design you the finest Tachi you've ever laid eyes on. My name as an engineer, I can promise you that. Thank you, Professor. This will be a great help to us. Rare or not, we're going to find all the Zemurian ore we can to make this work. I'll keep my expectations low. What a jerk. Makes you really miss, as much as I loathe to say it, makes you miss Tita's mother. Even she wasn't like this. The advice Reen received on forging a new weapon for Valimar came from a surprising source, but they could not have asked for better. After politely excusing themselves, Reen and George left the Institute to reunite with the rest of the crew. And once the maintenance was declared complete, they boarded the Courageous and departed from Rower. Well, at least we have a plan. We gotta find us some Zemurian ore. As to where we're gonna find that, no idea. Touring Erebonia 3. Angelica's driving the ship. Or steering, rather. I guess is a better word. I have to tell you, I'm impressed. I was expecting this beauty of a ship to be on the feisty side, but she's a real sweet girl. Cutting through the clouds like this feels wonderful. I could get used to this. Wow, I can't believe how quickly you got the hang of it, Angie. Neither can I. But I think it's obvious who's more qualified to sit here between the two of us. The job's all yours now. Why, thank you. I hereby accept the positions of Chief Helmsman and Courageous Second in Command. She really is amazing. There's no one out there who can tame a vehicle as fast as Angie. We're not going to have to worry about a thing with her around. Moving right along, the good news is we were able to liberate Rower. I don't think any of us could have predicted how much the war situation would change in the process. Marquis Rogner and his provincial army's withdrawal from the conflict will have a profound effect going forward. Losing one of their key members is bound to be a painful loss to the Alliance. For one thing, it should make things easier for Lieutenant General Vander and the 3rd Armored Division. Their greatest concern, before now, was the Norsha Provincial Army, after all. So the Alliance's overwhelming supremacy is finally starting to sway. Only in East Erebonia, though. They still come out on top in the West. Right, Prince Olivert says as much too. General Le Guin and Brigadier General Bardius are out there claiming one victory after another. And then there's your brother, Eustace. He's a brilliant leader, and it shows. I see. Be that as it may, all we can do is focus our efforts on the Eastern Front for now. That's what we were entrusted with, and fretting over things we can't change won't do us any good, right? That's putting it into perspective, yes. We got our hands full over here as it is, so let's make every moment count. Time to get back to gathering all the info we can. Speaking of, mind giving us an update on the situation with Valimar's weaponry? Alright, how could we forget? Professor Schmidt agreed to cooperate with us, didn't he? Cooperate is a strong word, Alisa. He only cares about what interests him. That it ends up benefiting us is purely secondary. And remember, he's only going to help if we manage to find enough Zemurian ore to make the weapon. How we're going to get the stuff that rare is beyond me, though. You said that Valimar himself is made of that ore, did you not? You wouldn't happen to have any ideas, would you, Emma? I'm afraid the Hexen clan knows very little concerning the creation of Divine Knights. Some legends passed down through the clan say they were made during the time of the Great Collapse. Specifically, they were forged by artisans who called themselves gnomes. Huh, that's an interesting name. I know the term from old stories, much like anyone else, but I had no idea a band of artisans by that name existed. Supposedly, they once worked closely with the clan's ancestors. But somewhere down the line, the witches and the gnomes ended up parting ways. I couldn't tell you exactly when. How curious. Maybe so, but none of that's going to help us find any ore. Our chances of finding enough were pretty slim to begin with. I know where you can get enough, but only if you're willing to overcome some very difficult trials to obtain it. You do? Really? What do I have to gain by lying? You're aware of those strange ruins scattered... Oh, okay, now we're going back to them. You're aware of those strange ruins scattered all over the country, right? Yep. There were 4 of them, I believe, that we've run into. Oh yeah, where the higher elements were active. Those are the ones, they're called spirit shrines. They were built on top of some septine veins long, long ago by the gnomes to encourage the formation of massive Zemurian ore crystals. Those crystals were in turn used to create the Divine Knights. So if there's any place in Erebonia to start looking for the vast amount you need, it's there. I had no idea. Why did you tell us this before now? Am I supposed to be a mind reader? It wasn't exactly relevant until now, so why bring it up? No need to buy our heads off. Hey, she told us now, right? All we gotta do is go to one of those shrines, and we'll be rolling in ore. Let's hope so. We got a lot on our plate checking up on the country, but exploring the shrines been our best lead yet. And no matter how difficult it might be, a little thing like a trial is gonna scare us away, right? Right. With the discussion coming to an end, their destination had been decided. Before departing, however, Class 7 thought it'd be best to check if there were any new requests from Prince Albert. And their timing turned out to be quite apt, as he had very recently sent several their way. Okay, but they're all optional, obviously, because the main job for the day is just checking up on the shrines. Cruising for a bruising. Okay, monster extermination. Phantom Thief. Great. It's funnier when we're dealing with Phantom Thief's requests when he's actually actively an enemy. Klein and Hebel, okay. This one's from Klein. Happy to see that Hebel's with him too. Not so happy about the airliner going missing though. Doesn't seem like something we can afford to ignore, dangerous as it sounds. But look at this one. Phantom Thief B? What's this about reading a letter? As if we have the time to be concerning ourselves with his pathetic antics. I know what you mean, really, but ignoring it might be even worse. Yep, we've got our work cut out for us. Hey, Reed, I want to help look out for everyone. Let me come with you, okay? Of course, Fee, you're always welcome. I think Celine and I should come with you when you're exploring the shrine, too. I was about to say the same thing. And make sure you're ready before you go. I wasn't kidding when I said the trials were difficult. Alright. We may as well just bring Emma now, so I don't have to worry about it later. Laura's always going to be in the party. Sure, let's go with this for now. I think that's good. And of course, as we do with every new day, we are going to talk to everyone on the ship before we head off somewhere. It's a relief that Marquis Ragnar was willing to honorably withdraw from the Alliance. The Norsha Provincial Army still stands, but I expect he will remain true to his word and not enter the fray again. I get the feeling that the Marquis would get along well with my father were they to meet under different circumstances. Yeah, probably. What's this for? Huh? What happened to Angelica? Who's operating the Courageous now? Oh, sorry. Of course you'd freak out a little. We're in the middle of testing an autopilot mechanism for the ship, actually. With things how they are, there's a definite chance Angie will need to leave her seat and help us however she can in the future. So we thought it'd be a good idea to test it now while things are relatively calm over in Eastern Arabonia. Oh, I see. That does make sense. Sometimes I have to wonder what this ship can't do. I can see that. It's about as cutting edge as you're going to find anywhere right now. Anyway, I think Angie's hanging out with George in the hold right now. If you need her for something, try there. Alright, thanks. Oh, are the two of you helping out on the bridge? That's right. I've decided to join the crew as a radio officer. Okay. Looks like I've got plenty of work in store for me, but I'm up for the challenge. She's always had magic hands when it comes to communications equipment. Perhaps she was inspired by the desire to bridge the gap between her and a handsome gentleman from afar. That is so not it. Anyway, I'll do my best to earn my keep aboard the Courageous. So please, let me know if there's anything you need. You bet, thanks. Well, at least Vivi is back to her old self. Now that she's found her sister. Well, now that we found her sister. Oh, I didn't even think to look before we keep moving. What students are we going after? Yep, okay, I guess we're going after Hugo now. Oh god, Margarita. She's the one that was obsessed with that one noble, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Kenneth, year one. Oh, he's the fishing club guy. Sighted along the Norsha Highway. Sighted at Schwarzdrake Barrier. But who was the one she was into? I don't remember his name. Wasn't he, what's her name's brother? The one Alisa was, like, rivals with. Isn't it, like, her sibling? Unless I'm remembering wrong. Hugo, of course he's in Rower. Stefan, Rower Institute of Technology. Okay, so Rower as well. Okay, yeah, and so they're gonna be part of the quest we have to do. At least we know where they are now. Alright, so next floor, we're gonna talk to Alpha and Alisa and Elliot. And I guess anyone else we see there. I'm glad that both your mother and Angelica are safe. That the Courageous was able to help and rescue both of them makes me very proud indeed. Thank you for your kindness, Your Highness. I'm sure my mother will be just fine now that she has Sharon to help too. I'll be doing my best to help out everyone here, just like I've been doing all this time. I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone expressing my happiness about that. With your mother safe, that leaves you free to focus your mind on the others you care about as well. Such as the upstanding Reen here. Wait, what? Your Highness, I mean... I'm getting the impression my presence here is making things more awkward at an alarming rate. Can't let myself be shown up. I'll have to prepare my very own plan of attack. Your Highness, it's not what you think, really. But it's exactly what she thinks. It's always when it is what they think that they say that. No one in here. Okay. Oh. Hey, Emily. Hey, Reno. Welcome to the Ranged Combat Training Room. Is this where they assigned you, huh? You got it. I've got a thing or two that might be helpful for you, and gave me the perfect place to use them. Recognize this? Hey, a combat shell. I snuck a few of them out of the academy with me. I bet you it'd be a great way for your class to train up whenever you guys and gals are up against. I can see that. I've set them up for range combat, so they'll be perfect for putting your orbital guns, bows, and staves to test against. I'll be here whenever I can, so if you ever want to do some training, just give me a shout. Okay, why do you have a lacrosse stick in your hand, though? Like, I would understand if she was in here practicing lacrosse to, like, pass the time, but she's got her lacrosse stick in hand next to a combat shell. Okay. Thanks. We'll have to take you up on that. Yeah, so you can do practice. Got it. And you can do special rewards, I guess, if you fight certain ones of them. And here we go. Yo, glad you made it. This is where you ended up. Taking over this training room, huh? That makes a lot of sense. I thought so, too. Figured it's the best way I could help out was giving you guys a chance to do some training. That's why I've got the combat shells all ready to go for you guys. Wasn't Loggins part of the fencing club, too? Or am I misremembering? They should be tweaked just right for you to train your close combat skills against. So if you're feeling rusty, stop on by and I'll get you sorted out. Sure, I'll take you up on that. I actually... Oh. Yeah, it's definitely... Let me just double check to be sure. Characters... I forget if he's a year 1 or year 2. I do like that they all have their own artwork as well, despite the fact that they're, you know, just... Wow. There really is very small differences between them. Even the top of their hair, you just look, it's the same. Okay, so he's not a first year. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he's in the fencing club. Yeah, he does seem like a guy who likes to look after people. Oh, and I guess this is the Orbital training room. Back when I was in Rower, Chairman Arena asked me to keep doing Orbital staff reports, you know, like I did it back at the Academy. You'd think she'd be too focused on the war to be worried about research and stuff, but I guess that's just how she is. And that's how they all are, really. Alright, next floor, we've got Gaius, Milliam, and Sarah. Oh, wait. Where? Elevator. What are the odds of Sarah's drinking? I'd say very high. Milliam. And perfect. I managed to rescue the bear Gramps gave me from the Eisengraph while we were in Rower. And this is where you're putting it? A good bedroom's gotta be fun, right? So if you ever want to take a nap in here, you're more than welcome to snuggle him. You might end up dreaming of Gramps if you do, though. I appreciate the offer, but no, definitely not. Never. Thanks. Yeah, I don't think he wants to dream about, Osborne. Oh, hey, Monica. Even if we aren't able to get him on board, it's such a relief to hear that Klein's doing okay. Even if whatever he's up to does sound really dangerous. Now that I think about it, maybe I'm not as relieved as I thought I was. Well, he is on our list of people to pick up next, so... Wow, she's not drinking. Shocking. We'd better get cracking on exploring those spirit shrines. That request from Fantastique B does worry me a little. But I'll keep an eye out for him myself to make sure he doesn't cause you any trouble, whether or not you decide to do it. It'd be a shame if you had to divert your focus on his time-wasting shenanigans when you've got plenty else to take care of. Hey, Mint. Yeah, nice to think things have finally calmed down back in my hometown. Instructor Mary being safe and sound is just the icing on the cake. Now all we need is find Uncle Makarov and Bridgie. Bridgie? By Bridgie, you mean Bridget from the Wind Orchestra, right? Yep, she's my bestest friend in the whole wide world. Oh man, now I'm really fired up to go find her. I'm pretty sure Bridget's not a fan of that nickname. Hopefully it doesn't spread before she's here to quash it. Oh, so Gaius is gonna be out this way. And there's no one in these rooms, so. Gaius is gonna be out here with his bird. No bird today. With the Norsha Provincial Army bowing out of the war, everyone over in the Highlands can finally breathe easy. The chance for things to take a turn for the worse has always loomed over us, but that shouldn't be the case now. Yeah, it's a relief for me too, but I can only imagine how much bigger it is for you. Let's just say I owe you all a lot for making this happen. And now I can focus entirely on my work as part of Class 7 and start paying you back for that. I played my part to protect my first home. Now it's time to bring peace to my second one, too. Happy to hear it. I guess I could really do this a lot faster and just teleport to each area. I totally didn't even realize until now. Guess we'll stop in each room. What is happening here? Huh? One more game, just one more. By all means, continue embarrassing yourself by challenging me again and again without so much as a moment to calm down. Billiards is a game that requires a cool head, much like chess, actually. Gah, I'm a chess expert. Don't you tell me what is and isn't like chess. Stop acting so damn arrogant. Eustace is offering Machias some solid advice, not that he'll ever take it. Yeah. What's going on over here? Oh, is this the card I guess we can look at while we're here? Huh? A letter? Oh, right. It's probably from Phantom Thief B. We must have been what he meant by where the blue cross indicates. Alright. Yep, this is him, alright. What should I do, though? Honestly, I'm half tempted to just cram it in my pocket, just keep going about my day. Sure. No, I think I should read it. What if it's about a crime he's already committed? I'd hate to just be sitting on this until only later to find out, when I read it, that it's too late to undo any harm he's done. Reading open the letter seal and popped out a card.
親愛なる7組の諸君へ、今日は君たちのために趣向を凝らしたもてなしを用意させてもらった。
Well, look at that. I'm already regretting opening this. This is a good screenshot. I continue to watch your radiance from afar, ever dazzled by its brilliance. That radiance is no doubt the fruit of the bonds you have with one another, bonds which, today, I wish to test. I wish to see how you act when the seeds of distrust and discord are sown among you, and I shall be watching from close by. To witness so rare and priceless an occasion, I will be stealing from you one of your beloved classmates.
それでは、どうか心ゆくまでお付き合い願おう。
Steal one of our classmates? Damn, I have to tell the others about this. There's not a moment to wait.
さあ、それではゲームの始まりだ。せいぜい美しく踊りたまえ。
Maybe I should have waited to do this. That's him. I can't believe he was able to access the ship's intercom system. And even the lights. Oh, they're back on now. I need to hurry and check on the others. Oh no. It was a mistake to open it. Now we're stuck in this. Oh well. Anyway, that's why I'll ask you to come here, but... everyone seems to be present and accounted for, at least to me. Perhaps that whole business about him stealing one of us was a lie then? I don't know, he doesn't really seem like the type who'd go through all this effort and not follow through. Do you think he's already struck, stolen a member of Class 7 and assumed their identity? No way. If he did, he's a true master of disguise. Everyone looks the same as ever. I don't know if this is related to the current situation, but after the lights came back on, I found this card in the Orbital Factory area downstairs. That's one of B's calling cards. Can I have a look at it? George handed Reen the card and began to read it aloud. The theft has been conducted successfully. I am now among your number. So Angelica was right then. Wait, there's more. Having established that, allow me to lay down the rules for our little game. Reen Schwarzer, you shall take up the mantle of detective. Your mystery is to discover whom among you I have replaced. To make things a little more interesting, I will allow Sylphin to aid you as your assistant. Me? What a twisted man, this is all just some game to him. Naturally, I have not taken the place of your detective or assistant, and not of your tutor either. I have assumed the identity of another of Class 7's members. So what he's saying is he's not Sarah, he's not Reen, and he's not Fee. I look forward to your struggles to discover which one. Here's to your success. So we're all potential suspects then. I sure hope he didn't choose Emma. If we exclude Reen, Fee, and Instructor Sarah, that leaves 8 people that could be him. Haha, this is starting to sound kind of fun. As long as you're not suspecting me, then it wouldn't be much fun. Before we begin, however, I would like to set forth 2 rules in the interest of fair and enjoyable game, of course. Rule 1. Questions must concern events that happen after you went your separate ways from the bridge, okay? Inquiring about things that happened before then, or about personal information I could not possibly know is strictly forbidden. Rule 2. You may not consult with anyone outside of Class 7. That includes the Purple Lightning. Should you violate either of these rules, I can offer no guarantees of safety of your missing member. I would assume that by now you know me well enough to realize this is no idle jest. Well, that's everything. He sure can fit a lot on these cards. I keep looking around to wonder if, like, someone doesn't have, like, a thought bubble or an exclamation point, because then that'll just give it away. But everyone does. Toa, don't say anything that might break the second rule. Yeah, for their sake, I think it might be best for us to keep our mouth shut and let them figure this out now. Indeed, we can't risk putting whoever's taken the hostage in danger. Guess I'm in the off-limits camp, too. Can't say I'm real thrilled to think that creep is sitting right here among us. Indeed, especially when we can't even help Class 7 identify him. Just leave this to us. We'll get him. Well, okay. For now, I think it would be best for us all to leave the room then. We'll be sure to tell everyone on board to stay away from this room too. Good luck, everyone. Obviously, nothing anyone has said so far has given any indications. So it's either one of the 4 girls on the right or one of the 4 men on the left. Alright, we're finally ready to get this started. Now we just need to decide how we're going to work this out. The first rule is going to be a pain. The one where we can only ask questions about things that have happened after we all split up, after being on the bridge. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for that, this would be a fairly simple matter. True, I doubt he'd know what we had for dinner yesterday, for example, but all of us would. Which means the rule exists so he can have plenty of time to savor the enjoyment before we work out the answer. Ugh, give me a break. So, which of us is he pretending to be then? I don't really like having to doubt each other like this. He did say his intention was to test our bond. I suppose this is one way to do that. You worked out something yet, Reen? I wish. So far I've got nothing. How about you? Same here. Maybe we should give everyone a pat down. What? I guess that's not technically in violation of any of the rules. I see no harm in doing so. But, don't worry. I'll handle the girls. Reen can do the boys. Well, I suppose that's fine then. You seem strangely reluctant. I thought so. You're him, aren't you? What do you mean you thought so? If you ask me, you're more likely to be the rat. Although, frankly, I find it hard to believe that any imitation could capture the sheer arrogance that seeps from your every pore. I take it back. I find it equally ludicrous to think any imposter could duplicate your ability to overreact to the slightest provocation. Well, it looks like those two are the same as ever. I think we're letting ourselves get a bit sidetracked, though. Yeah, let's get on with those pat-downs. The 8 of them split into 2 rooms with Reen and Feet conducting the pat-downs. Well, that didn't get us anywhere. What should we do next? Maybe ask everyone what they did after we split up earlier. Yeah, that's probably the best place to start. That way we can piece together the day's events and see if any testimonies stand out as odd. So let's see. We're really just gonna go down the list then. So Elliot, can you tell us what you've been up to? Well, I went down to the factory area with Machias because we wanted to make a few tweaks to our weapons. After that, Machias was still taking care of some stuff, but I hopped on the elevator and left. And I headed to the arts training room to see how modifications went, and that's basically it. Right, so you went to the factory, got some weapon adjustments, then went to test out your staff. And Machias was with you initially, so he'll at least be able to verify the first part happened. Gotcha, thanks, Elliot. Alright, next. About Machias, can you tell us what you've been doing? Of course. First, I stopped by the factory area in the hold with Elliot to have some weapon adjustments made to our weapons. Elliot finished up first and left, while I stuck around waiting for my shotgun. About half an hour later, I finally left the hold and dropped by the game room, where I ran into none other than Eustace. We even ended up playing a fairly civil game of billiards, too. We were still playing when all of this trouble happened. So you started a friendly game of billiards just like that? Aw, you're such good friends. We are not. Anyway, thanks for giving us your account, Machias. Kind of weird it doesn't just go down the table. Can you tell us what you've been up to, Eustace? Certainly. First, I went to the close combat training room where I sparred for a while with Gaius. After practicing for a while, we parted ways, after which I went to the game room. I was there for roughly 30 minutes before Regnitz wandered in to break my peaceful reverie. He was being his usual noisy self, so I figured I'd shut him up by besting him at a game of billiards. You just have to go and make yourself sound superior, don't you? Whoa, take it easy there, guys. Seems to add up with Machias' testimony. Yeah, thanks, Eustace. Alright, let's ask someone else then. Can you tell us what you're up to, guys? First, I swung by the close combat training room where Eustace and I went a couple rounds. Eventually, we both left and headed for the elevator together. I was the first to get off at the 3rd floor. From the elevator, I headed straight out to the front deck to enjoy the feeling of breeze in my hair. I do remember seeing him there. So you trained with Eustace and went out to the front deck. See, I can't testify for everyone I walked by because I ended up foolishly clicking on that exclamation point before I checked in with everyone. Alright, so none of the guys stand out as suspicious at all, so we'll see if anything with the girls does. Well, I was hanging around with Milliam for a while. We were sitting and talking at one of those tables on the 3rd floor hall. After a while, she remembered she had to do something and left. I stayed there, and pretty soon after that, Princess Alphen passed by and invited me to the royal room. That's it, I think. So you're with the princess? Thanks, Alisa. That was a big help. I mean, Milliam seems innocent because that was when she put the bear on the bed. But that also could have been when she got nabbed. But we'll see. Can you tell us what you're doing, Laura? I can, though I'm afraid there's not really much to tell. After everyone dispersed, I chose to remain behind on the bridge, observing the crew at work. Oh, really? There's not really any point in inquiring further, then. Thanks, Laura. Emma? Well, actually, I was with Fee the entire time. You were? Yep, she was. Celine was there, too. They were both nearby when the lights went out, too. So I'd have a hard time believing it's Emma. Right, Fee's got no reason to lie, but we are dealing with B here, so we can't be 100% certain she isn't Emma. Or he isn't Emma. What were we doing together then? Well, first we went to the reference room so I can investigate something. After that, we went to the kitchen. That'll check out Fee? Yep, all of it. Okay then, thanks Emma. So Milliam, can you tell us what you were doing during the time in question? Sure. Well, first I was hanging out with Alisa at one of the tables in the third floor hallway. We were just sitting around talking though. But then I remembered my bear. Your bear? I got him from Gramps, and I finally got him back from his train while we were in Rower. Anyway, I forgot I hadn't put him somewhere nice yet, so I went straight to the nap room to plop him down there. Oh yeah, that's where I ran into you earlier, isn't it? Thanks, Milliam. Well, that's everyone. Still, just asking everyone individually might not be enough to prove anything. Someone could be lying. You got a point. It might be good to get info on what people were doing from someone other than themselves. Maybe we could ask everyone if they saw anyone else. Now that you mention that's a good idea. Thanks for the tip, Fee. It's what assistants do. True enough. In that case, we're going back down. All right. You said you went down to the factory area with Machias, right? That you went to the arts training room? Did you happen to spot anyone besides Machias during all that? Actually, I did. On the way to the arts training room, I passed Eustace and Gaius together and said hi to them. Oh, right. I may as well take this opportunity and answer for myself. I saw no one other than Elliot and those I've already specified I met. As for me, I saw Alisa sitting alone at one of the tables on the third floor when I went down there. Assuming everything we heard earlier is true, it must have been after Milliam left and before Princess Alphen arrived. Alright, that gets a few people out of the way then, too. Let's ask the next person. Okay, yeah, this takes care of that. You met with Elliot and Eustace, right, Machias? Did you happen to spot anyone else while you're going about your business? I did, actually. I noticed Emma and Fee as I entered the game room. That must have been when they were headed to the kitchen area. So you saw Emma and Fee entering the kitchen. Got it. I didn't realize anyone had seen us going in there. Same, I must have let my guard down. So I need to feel bad about that. You were just walking around the Courageous, not infiltrating a secret base. Let's go down a bit. So after you finished talking with Alisa, you went to the nap room, right, Milliam? Did you see anyone other than Alisa during all of this? Nope, not a soul. Now I wish I'd just stayed there, though. Then I might have gotten invited to see Princess Alphen, too. Well, never mind that for now. I think that's all we're gonna get. You said you stayed on the bridge after everyone else left, right, Laura? Indeed, and of course it follows that I saw none of our other classmates after that, nor did they see me. Fair enough. Yeah, not much we can do about that. You said you sat and talked with Milliam for a while before she left, then later you were invited to the royal room, right? That's right, yeah. Other than them, I did see Gaius pass through after Milliam left. That must have been when he was on his way to the front deck to enjoy the wind or whatever. Not very nice to say it like that, though. That's all, though. I didn't see anyone else. Alright, thanks. Emma, you went to the reference room, then to the kitchen, right? And Fee was with you the whole time, right? You didn't see anyone else while you were wandering around, did you? You can answer this one, right? Of course we did, yes. While we were on our way to the kitchen, we saw Eustace enter the game room. I didn't see anyone else, though. Did you see Eustace, Fee? Yep. That's a relief. Just knowing that isn't conclusive proof that Blue Blanc isn't masquerading as Emma, but oh well. Well, now what? We haven't really learned anything else. Okay, we've asked everyone what they did and if they saw anyone else while they were doing it. Want to go over it all again? Yeah, let's do that. First, the places where everyone started out were, if I remember correctly, Elliot and Machias were at the Orbital Factory on the first floor. Eustace and Gaius were in the close combat training room on the fourth floor. Alisa and Milliam were at one of the tables in the third floor hallway. Finally, Emma and I were in the reference room on the second floor. Aside from Laura, who has no alibi, all of them were in groups of 2. True, which means everything you just listed is likely to be genuine. As for what they did afterward, though, we'll go over that now. Elliot left the Orbital Factory before Machias did, then went to the Arts training room alone. On the way there, he also met Gaius and Eustace. Yep. After that, Gaius says he went to the deck on the 3rd floor, and Eustace went to the game room on the 2nd floor. That's right, and on my way there, I saw Aliza alone in the 3rd floor hallway. Which means I must have already left for the nap room by then. Yeah. Next up is Machias. About 30 minutes after Elliot left the factory room, he finished his business as well and headed to the game room. That does seem to mesh with my own experience, seeing as I was in the room alone for some time before he arrived. Yeah, then as I was walking into the game room, I noticed Emma and Fee walking into the kitchen. As for Emma and Fee themselves, we started out in the reference room, as I mentioned earlier, but eventually we moved on to the kitchen. I can't remember how long we spent in the reference room, though. But as we left and were on our way to the kitchen, we saw Eustace heading into the game room. Well, that's everyone. Any idea who's our guilty party, Reen? Yeah, I've got a pretty good idea now. You do? Because I don't. You do? You're cool sometimes, Reen. Could you share ideas with us then? Gladly. The one who's actually Phantom Thief B in disguise is none other than... I genuinely have no clue. Like, I paid attention to what everyone said, but... my thoughts are going towards Emma or Elliot right now. You know what? I don't want to get it wrong for the sake of points, so I'm going to look this up. So, it says you get 2 points if you choose Machias, 1 point if you choose Emma. So, does that mean he's both of them? Well, let's go for it. You, Machias. Why me? What's your evidence? Well, Machias said that he saw you and Emma enter the kitchen area, right? But if he did, where does that leave Emma's testimony? You mean the fact that she saw Eustace enter the game room? That's right. Those two testimonies are at odds with each other. After all, Eustace said that Machias came to the room roughly 30 minutes after he himself arrived, right? That's correct. Which means... exactly, there's no way Machias could have seen Emma and Fee when he claims he did. It's just not possible. Well, you say that. Well, what if it's Emma who's in the wrong? It's true your testimonies contradict each other, yes, but why assume mine is more suspect? Because Emma wasn't the only one who saw Eustace, I did too. Which makes you #1 suspect. Indubitably, my dear Fee. The doppelganger right in our midst is none other than Machias, I'm sure of it. I wouldn't have picked up on that. I was leaning towards Emma, but not for any of the reasons they just stated. The game is up, Phantom Thief B. Show yourself. Well,
よくぞ見抜いた。そうとも。私が怪盗 B だ。
also, I just can't imagine anyone else getting so easily kidnapped besides Machias. Not that he's weak or anything, but he could be caught off guard like that. I can scarcely believe my eyes. He got us good. I'm impressed you were able to discern the truth from picking up on such a small inconsistency. Or perhaps I extended too generous a hand in helping you along after all. Helping us along? So your suspicious testimony was deliberate then? Spare us your cape fluttering theatrics and just tell us where Machias is. The game is over. Such a lively rejoinder. All I shall say is the narrow storehouse.
さらばだ諸君。次なるステージでまた会おう。
Does that mean he's on the ship? How does he do that? Never mind that now. We need to rescue Machias. At least he didn't make the clue all hard and stuff. Yeah, I can't think of anywhere else than the storage room on the 3rd floor that fit the description. Unless he wasn't on the ship. Let's go dig him out, I guess. Ouch. I only wish I could have been there when you were captured, just to see a look on your face. You look a bit tied up, Machias. Stop gawking and untie me. With Machias saved, everyone else set about trying to find Thanta VP. Unsurprisingly, he was nary to be found. Still, they had at least managed to avoid any harm from his antics, so for the most part, all was well that ended well. Well, that's good. Did anyone else move around? No, everyone's pretty much in their same spots. It was unfortunate that I grabbed that quest, but there wasn't many people left to talk to. Alright, so next time we are going to continue with our next day. I wasn't expecting to actually start that yet, but we did get that done. So we have 2 more of these to do, as well as going to the 4 spirit shrines. So, or maybe there's more than 4, but we know of 4. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this time. So that's gonna be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.